Hi and welcome back to my channel. I have another spread in my handmade junk art journal. I'm starting with acrylic paints and this one is the Cobalt Turquoise from Schmincke. I picked a color scheme today based on an older art journal page in a different junk journal, and I really like that page, so I wanted to create another one using the same colors. I will list all the acrylic paints I'm using in the video description, so you can have a look if you like the paints. I mainly use Amsterdam and Schmincke paints. I enjoy applying the paints with my fingers. Of course, it's not necessary. You can use a brush or you can wear gloves if you don't want to get in touch with the paint. For me, finger painting is kind of a more relaxing process, I would say. I love doing this. It's a lot of fun, and that's what it's about for me when I'm making art. I want to have fun. It's not about the outcome. The yellow I'm using is the Indian yellow from Schmincke, and I love the green that it mixes with the Cobalt turquoise. If you are enjoying my videos and if you're watching them regularly, I would appreciate if you can give them a thumbs up or maybe leave a comment. That really helps and supports my channel. Yeah, which is necessary when you create free content on a regular basis, I would say. Yeah, that would be really nice. The violet I have used is the permanent red Violett, and here I'm using the burnt sienna. I really love how the violet and the yellow are mixing. Usually a violet plus yellow gives you kind of a grayish color, but these two work so good together you get a really nice brownish tone. And this matches perfectly with the burnt sienna. I will now let this dry, and I have a little bit of paint left over on my palette paper. On this paper I have already tried out some markers and pencils. Now I will smear the rest of the paint all over that paper, and you will see how beautiful this is turning out. And these are those gorgeous papers I love to use in collages or also as pages in a handmade art journal. I made the background on the evening and now it's the next day. My page is completely dry and I'm going to create some more texture on it, and I plan to use some stamps for this. I think about the rainbow stamp because I feel this shape really matches that background, and I just stamp it with black ink, and I don't use an acrylic block. I just want to get some touches of it on the background. My stamps are available at rubberdance.com. Unfortunately, we had to increase the shipping costs because our shipping costs increased from a little bit over €6 to over €10 for tracked shipping outside Europe. Also, the costs for European customers are a bit more than usual because also these shipping costs increased. But they are now shipped only tracked. The stamp I'm using now is also from one of the pencil mark sets. I will link up all the sets I'm using today in the video description. And I'm stamping these dots into the darker areas of the page, and that gives them some interesting texture. I want to do some mark making with this watercolor pencil. It's from Faber-Castell from their Magnus series. It's a Albrecht Dürer pencil, and I'm dipping the nib into my water, and then I make some random marks and scribbles on my page. And in case you're watching from Germany or other German-speaking countries, I also have a German YouTube channel, so I will link this up in the video description in case you prefer hearing me talking in my original language. For my main images, I want to use the flowers from the Loose Florals #2 stamp set, and I want to just quickly share how I mount my stamps because I get that asked a lot. I have a quick video tutorial about that on my Instagram channel and also on the Rubberdance page. And I wet this cloth and cleaned my stamp backside and also the acrylic block. Both is super clean. And then I added a drop of water with my finger and the stamp will adhere to the block. What I prefer doing is using that glue stick because I don't have to clean anything and that makes it much easier. You can wipe away the glue afterwards when you're done. I pulled out some papers, jelly prints and other collage papers that I might want to use, and I am stamping the flowers. That sometimes happens when you don't use any glue. The stamp will stick to your paper. I just see the beautiful back side of this paper and I decide to also stamp onto that side. First I will stamp another yellow flower and then turn the paper around and stamp onto the other side. Later I can decide which flowers I want to use. I won't use all the flowers on the page, but I will keep them for future projects. I decided to bring in a little bit more background texture with that ticket stamp from the Mixed Media Marks stamp set. I'm arranging my flowers, but before I am going to glue them down, I want to add in some details with paint pens. And I also want to draw a stem. At first I thought I would use that Posca marker, but then I decided to use the watercolor pencil. While this is drying, I am going to add the details to the center of the flowers, and therefore I'm using a Posca marker in white. I also want to add some green to the center, and here I have these Ardix paint markers because I don't have a nice green from the Posca paints. And here I are about, I think, 5 greens, but first I want to try them. I really like these markers. I haven't used them lots, but regularly. I got them for Christmas. And they are great because of that brush nib with the acrylic paint. What I don't know is if they are really waterproof when dry, because they are so fluid and they don't dry out. I am not sure if they are real acrylic paint that is waterproof. I like 2 of the greens, one of the lighter ones and the darker one. And I will just start with the lighter one, and if I don't like it, I will add a layer of the darker on top. I will link up these paint pens in the video description. I think that green is a bit too light, so I add the darker one on top. I will now arrange my flowers to the page, and I'm going to adhere them with some liquid glue. I will also use some of the leaves. I will adhere the flowers off camera, and maybe I will also add a title with some stamped words, but I have to search for a nice quote. Yes, I hope you enjoyed today's video and you are inspired. I wish you a wonderful weekend and we will see us next time. Bye!